Wait, we're here for an hour? No. I'm a bit so-so about range. 2 pieces of concrete. Italy has speed limits. Usually, before going on a road trip, I would probably be sitting home, sipping an espresso. However, today is a bit different. Right now, I'm at an electrical car charging station just in the end of Lake Geneva to find out whether it is possible to grand tour an EV and whether I'm gonna have the best drive of my life today or the worst. Rolls Royce have always claimed being the best car in the world and has nothing to prove. And I totally agree with that. However, with a new Spectre, there's only one thing to be proven: whether a Spectre owner can comfortably drive from Lake Geneva down to south of France without any issues. With my 456 already kilometers of range, what the GPS is telling me that I have 495 kilometers to go until Monaco, which should take me about 5.5 hours. So clearly we understand that I won't be able to make it on one charge, which is not an issue because I've done this road hundreds of times and I know that you never get there with one tank of fuel. So let's just hope that this car will require only one charging stop. Then let's not forget that I'm soon going to be driving up to the tunnel of Saint Bernard, and that may consume a bit of battery. First stop, snacks. For the road, a must in any road trip. In the end, my production team didn't let me use the EV parking because I'm not charging. So it's crazy how much attention this car is getting. Like every single person on this gas station is looking at me right now. It's completely mad. I've been going to the racetrack, spent all my money on the dog in the bed. I put my heart into an 8-track cowbell there. My life was perfect, now it's starting to crack. Oh no. Say that I'm like blown away by, you know, the handling of this car, but I'm incredibly surprised because let's not forget the car weighs around 3 tons. I don't feel it at all. And the curves, the car is planted. I have full control. I would never think that such a big, heavy car could actually perform like this. 2024, guys. Things are changing. Next stop, paysage photography. A big part of going on a road trip is obviously creating memories. So when I'm out on a road trip, especially with a cool car like that, I always try to make as much content as possible. So we did already like an hour of driving. I'm a bit so-so about range because the car tells me now that I will need 2 stops before Monaco. We planned for 1. So now the plan is get back in the car. I wish we could have taken the pass, but it's closed. There's too much snow. So we're going to take the tunnel and then down to Aosta into the valley. And we'll try to find some electric charge stations either in the Aosta Valley or somewhere around Alessandria. And I really hope I can make a one-stopper until Monaco. No time wasted. Back on the road. A little traffic just before the tunnel, so it's a péage, gotta buy a ticket. Swiss border control, Italian border control, right into the tunnel, and then some magnificent views. Status of the charge before tunnel, 214 kilometers range. Yeah, it's getting tricky. It's probably around 70% charge, maybe 65. It doesn't say the exact percentage actually, it's just there's an arrow, so you kind of have to guess all the time. I also caught myself on a thought that I prefer to drive this car with the window a little bit open because it's just too quiet in here. Like, don't hear anything from the outside. Like, you close the window and it just blocks you from the outer world. It's like you're in a different Rolls Royce planet. Silently making it across the border, just like that. So when I entered the tunnel, I had around 280 kilometers range. I'm already at 317, meaning it is actually recharging, and it's also in a way recalculating because I'm driving obviously down, so it needs less, so it tells me more. We are gonna be generating some energy on the way down to Aosta. I'm very curious how much we are going to gain. Also, I could use the mode B. No, I can't, because mode B is pure braking. So I will try to accelerate less and just kind of be on this little acceleration touch. I have a lot of hope right now because it says that I only need one station. So 20-minute stop is really not that bad, huh? The only reason why I remember that this is an EV is just because I have a very long trip, and it's kind of the point of why we're filming today. But otherwise, if I would be kind of just driving for my own sake, I'm not lying to you, I wouldn't think it doesn't have the V12 anymore. Because the reason Rolls has always had the V12 wasn't because it's a crazy powerful engine to propel the car to space in 0.2 seconds. No, the reason they used the V12 because it was the smoothest engine. It was the engine that could provide the smoothest power delivery without being too aggressive, without being too shaky, without having too many vibrations. Something that's just super smooth, quiet, but in the same time would provide you with an immense power if you would require. Approaching Aosta, I regenerated up to 300 kilometer range and was confidently heading towards the famous Autostrada for a motorway blast. Italy has speed limits, you know, with a slight margin. You don't have gear shift because it just goes kind of smoothly, and the moment your brain thinks that there will be kind of a gear shift, it just keeps on going, and on top of it, it's like mega quiet in here. I love Italian motorways for this. It's a motorway, and then there's no more motorway, and then there are two pieces of concrete of a width of a squirrel, and I was supposed to pass into this in the Spectre. Wow. That was a little stressful. I hope I managed that. Puff. And yeah, full beans. Obviously I used up a little more than kind of originally foreseen by the car. So the car tells me I have 130 kilometers, so 1 hour and 8 minutes until the recharge. The car tells me 213 kilometers range, so pile poil in French, meaning okay for us. So I can just sit back and keep on enjoying. As I arrived to the first stop, my anxiety kicked in. Where is the charging station? Like, I won't be surprised in Italy there is a sign of charging, but there's no charging station. In Italy, sometimes things, you know, they say it's there, you arrive and it's been paid for, but has never been installed. All right, so this is our midway charging stop. This is the first charging stop actually suggested by Rolls. The car told me we should stay here for 20 minutes. I guess that's how long we're gonna stay because that's eating time. Price-wise, I have no clue. Not touchscreen. Do I need a card? Like credit card? The authorization failed. This is a great success. Avvicina la tua airfreight card alla colonia oppure attiva. I don't speak Italian. Aha! We have a card. Let's see if that works. Oh! Up. Open that. Open that. Oh, this is heavy, huh? wait for a blue blinking light, and when it's blue blinking light, then it's great success.
Yeah.
Ah, we're gonna get places today. All right, it's espresso sandwich time. Italian highway rest stops are notorious for their delicious meals. So naturally, I took my time, and when I came back, I was quite surprised. I think it's been approximately 25 minutes we were eating and talking. So let's see. Oh! 400 kilometers, so we're pretty much I don't know what it says, like 63%, but then it says 99, but then it says 419 kilometer range. Whatever that means, it's all great success, right? So it says 420, but then it says 267. It would be nice to know which one it is. But then it keeps on growing, so I guess we have 420. Okay, well, let's unplug and then we... Wait, we're here for an hour? No, we're here for 50 minutes. 99%. So very bad advice, but I guess in 25 minutes it would be enough still to get to Monaco. So we are good to rock and roll. Mais on n'était pas là pendant 50 minutes, mec. Let's go. This goes here. Hey, if you're a little girl with tiny hands, this may be a trick. The sun kind of disappeared while we were charging and enjoying sandwiches and espresso. And now, well, this is 1000% down to Monaco. Whilst the crew was filling up, I did some calculations. Just to talk real numbers for a second, I just checked how many real kilometers we did from our starting point this morning. So it was exactly 350 kilometers until here, and the car was fully charged, and we drove motorway, uphill mountains, downhill, motorway without really saving on speed and driving kind of pleasure. I drove how I wanted. So real charge at 100%, we had 350 kilometers of mountain motorway, not saving driving. Honestly, I'm very impressed. A quick point on my experience at the recharge station. As I said, I've never really done that with EVs. That was kind of like a first one of experience for me, and from what I understand is that really the technology in terms of recharging cars has really evolved, because in under an hour we were able to get 100% battery in a Rolls Royce Spectre. Basically, in the grand spectre of things, Rolls-Royce haven't changed anything for the Rolls-Royce clientele. They haven't taken anything away from them. They've really only given them benefits. And trips like this won't happen every day. They will happen occasionally. And the main question for me was whether this car can cope with this occasional trip without giving headache, and whether we can openly say that is it worth to spend 500,000 plus on a car like that and not compromise in anything. And the answer is a clear yes, and it's been tested today in a real life scenario, in real world. It was all filmed. There was no we didn't stage anything. This is exactly how it is. And on top of it, I'm not an EV fan, or I'm not greenwashing anyone. I'm a noob in EV cars. I'm a big petrol head. I love big petrol engines. But in this case, even if I would have a chance to spec a Rolls Spectre with a V12 or the electrical engine, I would take the EV engine, because it's just such a cool experience. It's this cool option, and in luxury, people need to have options. This is the value of luxury. Oh, first traffic jam of the road trip. Oh, just before entering France, at the péage, and I've just found out that this car has the best ever traffic jam mode. Well, basically when you push the B, you know, normally you accelerate and then you brake. Well, here you just push the accelerator so you move a bit in the traffic, and then you let it go, and it just perfectly stops. You don't even need to touch the brake. Well, it's a bit weird to use in a kind of normal scenario, but in a traffic jam it's just ideal. You just push a bit on the acceleration, it moves, you let it go, we stop. Making it past the jam and into France, our destination was in sight as the dawn fell. What a journey it has been today. Finally arrived to Monaco. We wanted to take some really cool final shots in the port. Unfortunately, it's Formula 1 next weekend, literally nowhere to park, so we found a cool, cozy spot in the beautiful Fonvier for the final words. I thought that this trip could go both ways. I was a bit worried for the battery to run out, Italy not being able to charge, and just had so many thoughts about it, and it performed so well, and Italian charging stations performed so well. So the question I had, whether that could replace a V12 Rolls, I answered it to myself, and yes, this can replace a V12 Rolls Royce, proved by us today in a real life scenario. See you in the next video. Bye bye.